If you are an agency, most probably you're sending weekly, bi-weekly, or even monthly reports to your clients. In this video, I'll show you how you can create an automation using Markifact to automatically create these slides for your customers, so you can easily share that without the need of manually pulling the numbers from various ad destinations like Facebook ads, Google ads, or even Google Analytics. I'll also show you an option that you can use within the automation, so the automation can run at specific dates, maybe a monthly, weekly, or whatever you'd like. So you can get the reports automatically, review them, and forward them to your clients. So let's get ahead and start. As mentioned, we're gonna use a tool called Markifact, which is a very cool tool to use, especially if you're an agency or a marketer. We have also created a video walking you through on how to create an AI Slack agent using Markifact 2 weeks ago. The link of that video is in the description. Make sure to check it out. And by the way, this is not a sponsored video. If you want to support the channel, you can sign up to Markifact using the link that is in the description. And since we're talking about that, you can sign up without the need of adding any credit card information, as they do have a free plan that you can use. And once you sign up, you will receive 200 credits that you can use to create automations or AI Slack agents. So let's start by the automation. Once you sign up, make sure to go to the template section and then filter for Google Analytics. In this video, we're gonna create an automation using our Google Analytics property, but the process would be pretty much similar, identical, if you want to connect Google Ads, Facebook, LinkedIn, or any other reporting automations. So let's start with that. So click on the Google Analytics automation over here and then select this automation. Google Analytics monthly slides with AI insights. And by the way, the automation does not only take the numbers and put it inside slides, it also have AI recommendations and insights that is used in the automation itself or on the slides itself. So let's check this out. So let's use template. You can name this whatever you'd like, but I prefer leaving it the way it is. Hit create. Once you hit create, you'll be directed to the automation interface like this one, where we will need to do several configuration steps, which are written over here. So we need to make a copy of this Google slide and Google Sheet. So let's hit on the Google Slides and make a copy of the entire presentation and give it a name. I like to give it my name or the client name itself. Let's close the original one, and then let's go back to the automation. We need to copy this email and granted access, which is basically granted Markifact access to these slides. Make sure that it is an editor access and hit send. Now let's duplicate Google Sheet as well. So hit the link, hit file, make a copy, and let's add our name to it as well. Let's hit share, paste the email that we have just copied, hit send. Okay, now let's head back to the automation, and now let's add the presentation URL over here. So I have just clicked on this node. And by the way, these little squares, each one of them is called a node. So let's click on the presentation URL node and go to the presentation. Let's copy the whole URL and paste it over here. Now let's click on the node after, which is the spreadsheet URL. So let's come here and copy the URL and add it. Now let's connect our Google Analytics property to this automation. And as I mentioned, if you're doing this automation for another destination, I'll show you other templates at the end, but the process are pretty much identical. So let's click on the Google Analytics for property, and I have already authenticated my Google Analytics property or account to Markifact, so it's already there. If not, it will ask you to connect, and you will do this in a second. Then you'll need to select the property that you want to get the data out of. So I have this property that contains data, so let's use it and let's save, and let's hit the run button over here. As you can see, the automation is currently working, and we are now at the logs section where it shows us a log of each interaction or action that is happening inside the automation. And also, as you already noticed, it also shows us how much credits does each step take. So you can see that this is taking one credit, and so on. So let's wait until the automations are finalized and go to our sheet. automation has been completed in 89 seconds now, and it costs us 24 credits. Let's go to the automation and see what happened. So we can see that the property name has been updated and the date range has been updated as well. So my property name is training, and this is the date range that I have selected. We can see that all of the slide data are now updated. This was not currently in place, and this is from my property data. So here, for example, we are seeing the number of sessions, engaged sessions, active users, new users, and top right we can see the date range on each slide. Also, there is a takeaway section that is generated by AI. So here it tells us, for example, sessions and active users increased by about 58% month over month. And by the way, all of the data that is in this property are dummy data. So at some cases, you might see strange numbers. So never mind this. The next slide shows us the traffic evolution month over month. So you can see here sessions and active users, each one a different color, and some insights about the data, conversions versus conversion rate. So we can see, for example, on this day, the conversions were high and the conversion rate were higher as well. And now let's check out the other reports. So we have some acquisition reports. We have default channel group report. So as mentioned, since this is a dummy data, the top performing channel group is then assigned. We can see how much sessions it has, active users, bounce rate, and so on. We can also see source medium reports over here, conversion breakdown for the conversions, the events that are marked as conversions within our Google Analytics property. And now some engagement metrics as well. Page views versus pages, session, landing page report, device category. And finally, we have this for e-commerce. So for e-commerce, there is e-commerce funnel breakdown, which is really helpful if I'm a business owner or a client for an agency. It would make much sense, and it will really be really helpful if I can see a breakdown of the funnel. So for example, here we can see we have this number for item view, now this number for add to cart, and so on until for the purchase. And lastly, there is a product performance report. So all of these are products name or item names, and then we have the funnel since from the item has viewed to cart and purchase in additional to the revenue. And now let's say that you want to define any template that you are using, whether it's for Google Analytics, Google Ads, Facebook, or anything within Markifact. Let me show you how you can add an additional information to what's already included in the template. So let's go back to the slides, for example, and then let's duplicate this table. I'm just gonna hit double right click and duplicate slide. And then let's say that we want to add the coupon code data to this slide. So let's name it coupon code data. Let's copy it and then right click on the table itself and click format option. And here there is an alt text option, which is used inside the automation. So let's change it to be the same as the title. So let's copy it and then add it over here. And now let's go back to the automation. Let's zoom a bit and let's duplicate this one. Click on it and there is a missing node reference. I know why this is happening, because this is not connected to the main node. So let's connect it like this and let's open it again. And now we can see that property is connected. Date range is set to last month. Now let's leave these as is. For the dimension, let's select the coupon code, order coupon. Let's not filter. Let's remove the order by, since it is not needed in here. Let's remove the limit as well. We do not want to limit this one. Let's actually correct one thing before finalizing this one. So let's remove these matrices and add the transactions ID, since the coupon code will be only available with transactions. So let's type transactions. Let's hit save. Now let's click on this plus icon over here and then let's type slides. It's already written. So let's select the same thing that we have here. So here we have here the type is update table. So we need to select the same thing. So let's click the plus button again, update table. Then let's click on this one in the configuration and let's add the presentation ID instead of like going back and copying the presentation ID. This is already saved. Let's hit on the plus icon and then let's select the value. So presentation URL is over here. So let's select this one. And now we would need to paste the alt text that we have just copied from the presentation itself. So let's paste it over here, and yeah, that should be it. Let's now run this and see what happens. So there is an error called table data required. So let's spreadsheet value over here. Yeah, now let's run this one. Let's save it and then let's run and see what happens. After running the automation, it seems like I have added something wrong, and now I'm getting this URL here in the coupon code data, the new slide that we have just created. So let's go back and see what have I messed up in the automation. So let's click on the update table, and here the table data, I have set the spreadsheet URL. However, I should have added coupon code data over here. So let's click here and then we will find it. So we should be using all outputs. So let's use this one and let's save and run. And yeah, it is finalized. It took 86 seconds and costed us 25 credits this time to run the whole automation. Let's now go to the slides, and this time it worked as expected. We are seeing this order coupon codes and how many transactions that were generated using it. We can also add the revenue and other stuff to the automation itself. And let's actually go back to the Markifact interface before we wrap it up and go to the template section. So if you go to the template section, you can search for any automation that you would like, whether it's for reporting or AI Slack agents or any other. But let's this time use these filters. So let's use the Google Ads filter and add the reporting one as well. So two filters. So there is that Google Ads agency budget monitor, monthly SEO performance, Google Ads and Meta Ads budget pacing monitor. You can use any of these, but let's use this one, Google Ads monthly slides with AI insights, which is pretty identical to the one that we have just created, but and this time connect our Google Ads account to the automation so we can get the data out of it. So as you can see from the left-hand side menu, you will need to duplicate slide over here and the Google Sheet and give that user access. Then right after that, you will need to add the URL over here of the spreadsheet and presentation and connect your Google Ads account that you want the reporting to use. And by the way, in this automation or the previous one, there is an option over here that you can change. So this automation runs every month, every week, or any time that you would like. So you don't have to come here and then update it manually or run it manually. But honestly, I always like to run automations manually like these to make sure that the data makes sense, that there is no errors before sending that out to a customer. So yeah, that was it. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you can subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. And by the way, I have my own web analytics community that is hosted on School. I have created this community with my colleague Vishal Gore. We have more than 4 courses uploaded on that community. We have support group if you are stuck in anything regarding marketing analytics. We're here to help you out. And we also host bi-weekly webinars where we teach something new every 2 weeks. This was Ahmed, and yeah, see you in the next video.